Just welcome to the press conference. Just for me, before you start, just if you don't mind, I'll say a couple of words. First of all, congratulations to South Africa. I thought it was a great performance where they showed what they're good at, very clinical, and their ability to squeeze you, particularly in that high ball game, was evident again. And thought thoroughly deserved the game. To Malcolm on his 50th, I thought he had an outstanding game, so he'll be pretty proud of that, and I'm sure his family will be. For us, bitterly disappointed. I felt probably our most improved performance this year. I thought some areas we really shifted our game forward, but in a game probably dominated by defence, we defended well, but our timing was out a little bit in terms of the attack side, and we're just going to have to go and have a look at that. A few players over here for the first time feeling the pressure that comes from playing this type of team, but pretty excited about the next challenge at Ellis Park and playing for a trophy. Thank you.
Sam, what did it feel like out there? Obviously you see the occasion and the noise and everything. Was it a tough game playing with the bulk kind of pressure into that equation?
To be honest, it was awesome to get back out in an atmosphere like that in South Africa. It's one of the great challenges in Test footy, playing South Africa over here, and the hostility of the crowd and the noise. And if anything, personally, I think, speaking on behalf of a lot of the boys, you love that sort of backs against the wall, us versus them and the stadium. And I think, early on, they threw a lot of punches in terms of their attack, but we did well to absorb a lot, and I was pretty happy with where we're at in terms of the scoreboard going into halfway, considering we hadn't got much going on attack. But as it turned out, we continued to not quite get enough going, and that's the Test match. Yeah, that's probably one of the keys to the Test match, was our inability to get enough momentum going. Malcolm Marks in particularly, getting over the ball. Number of things. Normally it comes down to the ball carrier winning the collision and then snapping the ball back, long placement, but particularly the cleaners were just almost half a second off, and he was winning that race. And once he gets in a strong position over that ball, he's probably one of the toughest in the world to move.
That's something that last year was an issue for you guys, was the ball carrier being momentum basically between the farm. Why haven't you guys rectified that in the last 6 months?
Well, I think there's periods that I thought we did it well, to be honest, and there was periods that they got reward for it, and that's generally what happens when you play South Africa. You're playing a team that's one of the most, that they win the most jackals in any game, any Tier 1 team. So it's clearly a threat we're working on. And I thought that our ball carriers are okay. In some ways, there's just a little bit of the timing out in terms of the cleaners, but clearly it's something we've spent a lot of time on it this week, and it was a clear threat. And when we got it right, we did it well, and when we didn't, we paid a price. And that's the game that they try and play. And so part of it is it's not just about that. It's about the defence out wide that forces you in, and it sort of corrals you into that space. So flip side of it, we did it to them as well. And so I thought it was a game probably dominated by defence, to be frank, on both sides. Sorry, who was that? I missed that question. You got red carded at the end? Yeah, no, he played well, and so I probably didn't spend all day watching him, but he certainly he reads D well and very quick, very elusive. Probably just got to work on his technique, chasing high balls.
There's a trophy at stake now. How do you guys pick yourself up for this? I'll say short term run and still need you guys to do that as well?
Well, I think quite easily, really. I mean, it's always going to be we came over here for a 2-game series. We always knew it was going to be tough, and so we felt that tonight. And they get the lollies tonight, and they thoroughly deserve that. But like I said, I think that we've got to take some things out of there that we've made some big shifts in, and we nullified a large part of their driving game. And again, I thought defensively made some shifts, and in that last quarter we were starting to open things up, but we started to snatch at a couple of balls, which is frustrating. But just got to take that experience and take it into Ellis Park and just walk in there and give it a good crack.
Ian, Caleb and Will were really messages in the first half. They just didn't get much ball. What was that down to? And is there just a lack of kind of rhythm in your attack game?
Yeah, look, to be fair, we were playing in our 25 most of that first half, and we were desperately trying to get out. When we did get out, we conceded a couple of scrum penalties. We were really frustrated. We didn't think we'd get any call our way in that first 25 minutes, ironically, which is a little bit frustrating. So we're going to have a close look at that, and that kept us pinned down. So we're forever trying to exit, and we want to get them involved. But it comes to getting into some good territory and good field position, which is something that we've got to look at how to do that a little bit more effectively in that first half, because certainly you felt them get momentum, but like Sam said, I thought we fought through that period, and you get that in test matches. You get periods that you can't get a flow on, and you don't get field territory, but I thought we held in there really, really well, but couldn't. It would have been nice to execute a little bit better with a couple of lineouts in that last part of that second quarter.
So you guys had a couple of costly knock-ons in that second half. Springboks a few easy exits when you were 22 and in their half. Was that down to sort of humility, the forward that away to the top to handle, or was it more the dominance and the collisions that seemed to get you guys there?
Look, yeah, the ball was slippery, but it's test match rugby, and we expect us to be able to execute under that sort of pressure. There's no doubt the line speed that the Boks were bringing were not giving us much time on the ball, but we expected that, and we've trained for that. It's just individual skill sets that, that's what Test rugby is. It's just another notch up from the rugby we've been playing, a little bit less time, a little bit more pressure, but it's still executing the same. Often it's about executing the same basic skill sets.
Can I add something to that? I think too is that, like we're coming off a lost series, and there's a lot of noise around this team now, and we're trying our best to really just focus on our own performance, but you feel that, and I think it's when the team's working really, really hard to get its game at the level that it wants, then sometimes it's just you get a little bit over eager, and thought there was a little bit of that today, almost wanting it too much and trying a little bit too hard, and so we've just got to look at that and look at today and just calm down and say, okay, well we've got one more chance at Ellis Park to win a trophy that's pretty special to us, and they had the first bite of it, and we've got to make sure we respond. But part of that's going to be just to sit back and absorb the lessons, trust it a little bit, and just relax and take a little bit more moment on the ball and get our skill sets right. So fully believe we can do that.
Getting that outside noise is only going to grow after another loss. You just have to shut that out and close ranks a bit now.
Yeah, I don't think it's a matter of shutting it out. It's there all the time, but it's if you spend too much time immersed in it, it doesn't do the team any good. And so, what's important for us is, we know we've had a couple of losses. We understand that. But we also know that, in all honesty, I thought we shifted up a couple of cogs in this test, and some of the areas we really wanted to focus on, we made some significant improvements, but didn't quite get the other ones quite right. So, our position internally is that we're pretty excited about going to Ellis Park. Win or lose today, it would have been a big test for us, and but losing today means we'll we'll go and pull out the positives of that game and go into it and give it everything we got, which is what people should expect out of an All Black team.
Again, both of you mentioned tonight and in the past, the reduced success in the game. How can you be confident that the personnel carry out the strategy that Trump
You just believe in your players. So, and we do. And, it's one thing to say you want to get everything right, perfect, but it seldom happens. And like I said, I think this team right now, I know that we're developing and growing. I know people are frustrated with that, and we're frustrated with the results. But at the end of the day, you don't achieve the growth that you want if you get too panicky and you start making dramatic changes and putting too much pressure on players. We actually want them to feel the pressure tonight, understand what it's like playing test matches over here, and we've just got to be a little bit sharper in what we do. But fully believe in the skill sets of the players we've got, and we've just got to keep honing it and getting better and better and grow through this tough time.
You talk of reaching, especially this now, but it's not 5 months, it's 6 months. How are you personally dealing with that pressure shift now?
Well, I'm going great, and my hair's receding pretty quickly, but it's never easy, and because of the standards that we've got internally mean that you want to do well, but like I said at the end of the day, we've got a group is probably, I think, still developing as a team. I think I've been over here for a number of years with probably more established All Black teams than what we've got now, and this one's still growing, and it's not where we want it to be, but I still fundamentally believe that it can get there, and again, I thought some of the moves tonight were positive, but we've got to prove that next week that we can continue to keep growing.
I think one thing that you may not see from the outside, but you can certainly feel within the camp, is that the belief's really strong within the group. Like that, even with 5 minutes to go, when there was that the red card, the group, there was genuine belief in this. It's only something that you can feel when you're out on the field, or when you're with a group, and you can feel it when it's not there. But the group's belief in themselves and us and what we're trying to achieve is certainly high. And when you've got that and an attitude to work hard and try and get better, I think it's a good recipe, and we've just got to stick at it, and it'll turn. If we didn't have those things in place, I'd be pretty worried, but the right ingredients are there.
Sam, one aspect of the Springboks attack, especially the rolling ball, has been in our media as yours as well. Do you think you succeeded what you wanted to do today as far as that's concerned?
Yeah, I think we did a good job there, to be honest. I don't even know if they got a penalty from any of their rolling balls, did they? And obviously didn't score. So, well, that just highlights an area that we've put some focus on in the last sort of 10 days, and we've stepped up big time there. So yeah, pleased with that part of our game.
We'd just like use it to apply the same for both teams next week. It'd be nice.
Yeah, and you've coached quite a bit against the Springboks. How would you rate that performance of theirs? Just in your time?
Oh, pretty good. It's look, there's two teams at slightly different stages out there, and they're very established. They know their game really, really well, and they execute it really well, and you could see that. But I also felt that some key parts of their game, that they probably didn't get the rewards that they perhaps would have hoped to in that game, and so we've got to look at the small victories in that space and say, well, that's good, but we've just got to get a little bit sharper and a little bit belief and time in our game. And so, like I said, we'll keep getting judged on that, and we appreciate that, accept that. But it's, I think we're getting there, and it's, and again, like in the next 7 days, we've got to go and make sure we take the same steps I think that we took in the last week, and we'll see what happens.
I think the Springboks were awesome tonight. they played really well. As Foz said, they know their game really well in terms of the set piece, trying to dominate collisions, but then their kicking game, they created a lot of half opportunities through that in the breakdown. So I don't think, I suppose I touched on it earlier when I said there's genuine belief. I don't think there's a lack of confidence in our team. I just think we're not quite able to get across the line in terms of the performance we're after, but we're certainly made some strides. So like any test match, it's normally a little bit of both. But I thought the Springboks deserved their win tonight. They were very good.
Cool. Thanks, bud. I've got to get these next.
Thanks. Thank you.